Welcome back to the Green Machine, the nature aquarium specialists. In this 23-minute video, you will see professional aquascaper and founder of the Green Machine, James Findlay, creating a planted aquarium from scratch. We'll take you step by step through the process so you can understand the technical and artistic decisions James has made at each stage. James is using one of the most popular sized aquariums on the market, a 60 cm wide by 30 deep by 36 cm high 60 litre ADA cube garden. ADA cube gardens are made from low iron, higher clarity glass, which results in a brighter, more vibrant view of your planted tank. James is well known for creating super tanks such as Nature's Chaos, Arizona and Reciprocity, so it is interesting to see him planting a more average sized tank. We will now see how this layout was created, before learning more about its composition. First, TGM substrate supports are placed at the bottom of the tank, to serve as dividers for the different types of substrate materials which will be added shortly. Next, substrate additives are sprinkled across the glass in areas where the plants will be placed. These help ensure a healthy environment for their roots, which leads to excellent growth throughout the whole plant. For full details of these additives, visit our website and read the Escarpment Aquascape Journal. Power sand is used as a base substrate layer, as it contains many organic nutrients and is excellent in helping plants to actively absorb nutrients from their roots. Its porous volcanic stones increase water circulation, which avoids stifling the substrate. This product helps prolong the life of an aquascape, so you can enjoy your layout for longer. James spreads it across the base of the aquarium using a sand flattener. Next, more substrate additives are sprinkled on top of the power sand. A beautiful planted tank can be achieved with fewer additives in the substrate layer, but many of James's aquascapes are intended for public display, and so it is important to him that the substrate layer is as good as he can make it, in order to maximise the lifespan of the layout. Now, the main substrate layer is poured on top. In this case, James has chosen to use the most popular planted tank substrate in the world, ADA Aquasoil Amazonia. This is a complete substrate which can be planted straight into, and provides superb conditions for aquatic plants. James always advises people to invest in a decent substrate system, as this is the foundation of the aquarium, and cannot later be replaced without stripping down the whole tank. James chose ADA Ki stone for this layout because of its orangey red hues and angular surfaces. The first stone is carefully placed into the tank. Its angles are checked from all sides before smaller stones are added in key positions. James works with a combination of intuition and technical experience to find his chosen positions for each stone. A degree of improvisation is always present at this stage of the process. More aquasoil is poured around the stones to increase the height of the substrate. This helps secure them and allows for the position to be manipulated. It also results in elevated areas where plants can be placed later on. Aquasoil allows for fine adjustments to be made easily, which helps the aquascaper achieve a pleasing hardscape layout. You can see James making minute changes to the stones, positions and angles, and constantly assessing them to ensure he is happy with the results. This stage of an aquascaper's creation often requires a degree of patience and is best not rushed. You can now start to see the cliff-like structure coming together. You can see how James carefully builds up the height in the substrate in order to allow the hardscape to reach up to nearly the top of the aquarium. The second larger stone is finally added to the back corner of the layout. A smaller stone is placed a small distance below. The overall effect is that of a steep cliff slope, an escarpment. The grouping of stones now feels like one rock formation. TGM substrate supports are now used to secure the substrate and hardscape in place. If these were not used, the substrate would simply roll down the slopes after water is added, destroying the layout. James developed his substrate support system in order to achieve the kind of layouts that were previously impossible, except in one's imagination. It is now our pleasure to provide these to our customers so that they can replicate this technique in their own layouts. The substrate supports are cut to size, so they are a little shorter than the height of the substrate in this desired location. Then they are pushed into the substrate until they disappear, or are only slightly visible. Extra substrate can be used to cover them, and they will later be fully concealed by aquatic plant growth. Substrate support should be placed on all available slopes around the hardscape. James uses a paintbrush to smooth the aquasoil into its final position before the planting stage. Sand is added to the other side of the divider. This will create an area without plants and provide space in the final composition and a contrasting area of brightness. Again, this is smoothed with a sand flattener. The divider is carefully and slowly removed in order to minimize the mixing of aquasoil and sand. Now James tidies this area before proceeding. The final elements of hardscape are some pieces of ADA hornwood, which James has attached to plants. Anubias petite can be seen at either side, while there is some Versicularia dubiana Christmas moss tied to the centre. The following pieces feature the same two plant species. James places the wood between the stone and sand sections, casting dark, contrasting shadows and providing shelter for fish and shrimp. ADA hornwood is heavy and sinks without any need to pre-soak. This property, as well as its beautiful natural texture and shapes, makes it ideal for aquascaping. final stone is added in front of the wood to tie the two types of hardscape together. The aquarium is slowly filled with water before the planting stage. Pagostemon helferi has been prepared into small planting plugs, which James places one by one into the substrate, using aquascaping pin sets. This tool is invaluable to the aquascaper, as this task is simply not possible using fingers alone. Here James uses the Pagostemon as a carpeting plant, covering the aquarium base densely. It doesn't grow higher than about 10 centimetres and is often shorter, especially under high intensity lighting. Good lighting is important for all plants, which will tend to stretch towards the light if they are not receiving enough, resulting in a leggy growth. Therefore, good lighting is especially important for aquascapers who aim to achieve a carpeting effect. Hygrophila polysperma rosanavig is added across the middle to the back right hand corner. Under intense light, this plant's leaves can turn deep pink, so bear that in mind when using it in your layouts. Once again, aquascaping pin sets are used to deliver the plants to the substrate. Next, some Hygrophila corymbosa siamensis 53b is added at the back left corner of the aquarium. When this grows, it will rise to the surface of the water, helping complete the compositions that James had envisioned. Some more moss is added near the back, behind the hardscape. This will mostly be visible when viewing the aquarium from an elevated angle. James constantly checks his plant placements, visualising how the plants will grow over time. He always advises aquascapers to work with as many plant species as possible, as this will give more choices for future creations. Once you know how a plant will grow over time, you can consider it in each place in the aquarium and make informed decisions during the planting stage. Some more moss is wedged between the rocks. Once grown in, this will fill the hole and look like flat growth clinging to the rock surface beneath. Another piece of THY stone is added under the wood. This one has had Vesicularia dobiana Christmas moss attached to it. Now that the planting is complete, the aquarium is filled to the top. After 8 months, with maintenance carried out by James and the Green Machine team, the aquascape has fully grown in. In the centre, the Anubias petite has filled out and is very healthy. Prospernica palustris has been added at the back centre, rising up behind the Kiai stone, first complementing the stone's red hues with its green foliage, and then reflecting them in its pink tips. The Hygrophila corymbosa siamensis 53b has grown tall, reaching the water surface, drawing the viewer's eye upwards. The layout as a whole delivers a luscious area of growth, with stones softened somewhat and the wood providing a frame for plant growth. The fish that have been added are Rasbora brigate, Rasbora cabatae, Corydorus pygmaeus and Norman's lampai. These were all deliberately chosen for their small size, to enhance the feeling of a large landscape within the layout. Tiger and cherry shrimp graze on algae which grows on the stones. They act as small cleaners for the maintenance team. Light backgrounds can look like clear skies behind the foliage of aquatic plants. Here you can see the aquascape with glass filter, inlet and outlet pipes, glass CO2 diffuser, CO2 checker and VUPA surface skimmer. This is a full ADA system and the overall quality can be seen here. Here you can see CO2 gas being diffused into the water using a ceramic diffuser. To the left you can see a bubble counter outside of the aquarium, which is used to show the maintenance team how much CO2 is being delivered to the aquarium. The current rate is approximately 2 bubbles per second. Now you can see an ADA Cabicon Ruby, which is a CO2 non-return valve. This prevents aquarium water flowing backwards through the tube towards the regulator when the CO2 supply is switched off. Surface skimmers can be used to gently remove floating debris from the surface of the water. This is an ADA VUPA, which is highly effective and a well-designed piece of hardware. James is very happy with the growth in this layout. He achieved his desired intention of using the moss to create a sense of age, and he succeeded in fulfilling his vision of a rock face dropping down to a jungle-like plain below. The taller plants move in the gentle flow from the filter outlet pipe. A snail moves slowly along the inside of the glass. The overall layout is a stunning example of what can be achieved within a planted aquarium of average size. If you want to learn how to aquascape or need help with your nature aquariums, you can watch our free videos and read articles on our website at www.thegreenmachineonline.com, where there is a wealth of information and step-by-step tutorials. We help our customers achieve stunning planted tanks. We've helped thousands of people learn to aquascape, and we're still counting. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Look out for more of our releases in the future, and please subscribe to our channel to be kept up to date.